Introducing Special Procedures. CPEI. Special procedures are also known as Customs Procedures with Economic Impact, CPEI. Barring the odd exception, formal applications are required to use special procedures. Why? CPEI applications are filtered through a database of commercial policy measures to find out whether producers in the EU are likely to be adversely affected. If granted, each procedure comes with its own set of rights and obligations. As such, with all this in mind, if anyone intends to use more than one special procedure, they should maximize their chances by submitting a separate application for each CPEI. The odd exception, you say? Yes. For example, depending on circumstances, an application for an authorization for the temporary admission procedure may be done by the sole act of crossing the border in certain cases. So, on occasion, oral and paper declarations can be permissible, but we'll find out more, including rights and obligations, as we go along, and in oncoming videos. For now, I found a quick info sheet. You can download it from the EU authorities. It's easily digestible. And although it omits transit procedures, it smartly summarizes the other 6 special procedures or CPEI. We'll cover transit procedures in later videos. For now, I'll quickly scroll through it. Pause if you like. We see 2 storage procedures, customs warehousing and free zone, 2 specific use procedures, temporary admission and end use, and 2 processing procedures, inward processing and outward processing. So, temporary storage and free circulation, not special procedures. Okay. Below that, standard exchange of information. CPEI processing is done via INF. I'm guessing INF is a standard, or set of rules, and INF stands for Standardized Exchange of Information, which is the exchange of information between customs authorities for goods placed under different processing procedures, specifically inward and outward processing. An electronic system will be used for the exchange of such information between customs authorities. I guess CDS maybe. And this information can be provided by either the holder of the procedure or by the concerned customs office. Below that we see, you can download, free of charge, an e-learning module on 6 special procedures. Before we leave here, I just want to take a quick look at that graphic. General provisions. The special procedures, color grouped, are on this side. Yep. No sign of temporary storage or free circulation. But the stages of use for special procedures are given along the top here. And remember, you first need to be a holder of a special procedure in order to use it. And to become a holder, you need Stage 1. Authorization for your special procedure. And as a holder, you can then place goods under your special procedure, at which point your goods fall under customs supervision. And I'm guessing stuff happens to your goods during Stage 2 and 3. And after your special procedure has met its purpose, it needs to be discharged. Stage 4. There is a formal discharge process for your special procedure. And this has to be done by the time allotted by customs. A tip. Special procedures have aspects related to import and export. If you see IM-EX or IMEX associated with special procedures in literature, you can read IMEX or IMEX as import-export. So, this graphic nicely highlights the fact that special procedures have a beginning and an end. And even before you submit your customs declaration, you often need to apply to be a holder of a special procedure. If approved, you will get an authorization number, which I guess you need to include in your customs declaration. We'll see more on aspects of this process later. But we see the broad picture here. Start and end. Fab. Okay, great. You may also see special procedures, or even other ordinary procedures, referred to by abbreviations. Keep a lookout for inward processing, or IP. Outward processing, OP. Customs warehousing, CW. Temporary admission, TA. Free zone, FZ. And more, as you might spot in the oncoming videos. All these terms ultimately describe different contexts for when customs duty or tax might be suspended. But also, you might see these abbreviations optionally appended with the letter R. This commonly happens on the HMRC pages, for example, IPR, where the R simply stands for relief, so we get inward processing relief. IP is used in the context of manufacturing. So in this case, we are talking about raw materials, parts, and processed goods that are benefiting from IP suspension. But what is actually suspended? Customs duties, and perhaps VAT. HMRC state IP suspension as suspending customs duty, specific customs duty, anti-dumping duty, countervailing duty, and perhaps on occasion, even VAT. And one or more or all might be suspended, depending on the situation. But we won't worry too much about all that right now. Okay. Great. Let's head back. And after all that, we're back on temporary storage, or TS. Unlike temporary admission, or those other storage procedures, specific use, or processing procedures. Temporary storage is not a special procedure. Neither is free circulation. So to repeat from the previous video. How do I request temporary storage, or free circulation? Just a customs declaration will do. Next. More detail on individual special procedures.